Hello, we're live. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, so here we go. All right, here we are. All right, so this doesn't work. I'm not sure what I need to do. Maybe I need to start going live on my mobile instead. So Wendell, can you hear me?
I'm not hearing any sound yet, honey. I'm still listening.
All right, so Priscilla says we have sound. Okay. What is... I can't even explain to you. I don't even know. All right, I don't even know. Yeah. Okay. Yay, Sasha. Oh my gosh, guys. I did the same thing, the same exact thing, and it didn't work the first time. So, okay, so I'm just going to say that the universe is testing me. But guys, I know that this is worthwhile. I know it is. So I'm going to keep on it, and I'm just going to hope that you bear with me, right, through each one of these missteps, because it's just like frustrating. Technology has actually challenged me a lot today. I don't know if... Oh, thank you, Priscilla. They don't work well with mask. They always get connect. I wore this all day today, and I went several places today, and my mask loops get connected, and so I have a mask hanging from each earring. It's kind of bizarre, but yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was in my I go through phases of like I want silver, and then or I want gems, and so that was my silver phase. Kelly, how you doing? Oh my gosh, and Courtney, thank you so much for joining. And Angel, I really appreciate your insight tonight. It's going to be really important to collaborate with everyone. So we're going to give everyone a few minutes to come back. Hopefully they can come back and see us. So if you can share us out, guys, I'd appreciate that. I tried earlier, and I can't share the events to an individual messenger. I can share it to our page. Hey, Leslie, or I can share it to other groups, but I can't invite individuals. I'm not sure why. So if you know anyone that would, participate or enjoy the conversations that we have about crystals, then I'd love if you could invite them. It's really important to get the word out, I think. So while we're, oh, I smell my incense. It's just like wafting over here. It smells really good. So tonight our pairings. So Maribel, if you're back on, I hope you are. So this Maribel is the person, hey Michelle, that really suggested the pairing of Smoky and Amethyst. We've actually talked about each one individually, but Maribel came up with a suggestion, and it's an amazing suggestion. It's almost like grid work, but it's more of an intimate level, I think. So the Smoky and the Amethyst, having them work together. Hey, Leanne, thank you, hon. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being patient. Oh, gosh. We test it out before we go live. Hey, Carrie. And then it looks like everything's working fine. And then you go live and you're like, nothing. I mean, at least we've figured out the challenge of the audio or the video. So we did get that, but the sound now is giving us problems. Yeah, I know, Priscilla. It really is. And so what Wendell found in his collection is, so this is a amethyst slab that has Smoky in it. So this is a natural pairing of amethyst and Smoky. I don't know if any of you have anything like this, but this isn't actually in Wendell's collection. It's not mine. Although I guess I can consider half of his stuff as being mine. I have half of it. I guess that's how. Texas. Oh, there you are, Maribel. Hello. Hello, hello. Thank you. And so Maribel was the one that suggested tonight's discussion. So Maribel, I have 2 pieces of the amethyst and the Smoky Quartz as a This is one of my favorite pieces here of amethyst. And then this is actually Wendell's Smoky Quartz, not mine. Yeah, right? Starting May 1st, it'll be mine too. Yep. Do you, Priscilla? Yeah, so I think it's a natural pairing. I really do. I think you'll find them in the same vicinity in several places of the earth. So so why is that? Why do you think that amethyst and smoky pair well together? What do you think the qualities, the base qualities of those two type of crystals? Why do you think they complement each other? Does anyone have any thoughts on that? So what I would like to offer is that I think that they complement each other extremely well. I think when you complement another person, like maybe if you have a mate, right? So Priscilla's saying amethyst is jack of all trades, right? Absolutely. I was actually looking at a biomat that includes amethyst in its is part of its attraction and its healing. So yeah, you're right. Amethyst is, I call it a master healer. I mean, it can do pretty much anything you need it to. So what do you think that the complementing factor to smoky quartz? Mm. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that's really a good way to um, highlight what the smoky quartz qualities are. I mean, it's my favorite stone. So when Maribel suggested it, I was just really excited. It was like, oh yeah, I can do this. This is something I think a lot of people would definitely a barred crystal. So what do you mean by barred? I think of barred as it's almost like a town crier type. That's how I think of the adjective of barred. What would you define barred like, Priscilla? The lag is really long. So the two crystal bards of jack of all trades. Ah, I got it. Okay. Yep. I got it. Makes sense. Yep, it does. Ooh, I like that, Leanne. So what Leanne is suggesting is that she uses Smokey in one hand to block it, right? So yeah, so I actually use Smokey to transform, right? And so amethyst to give your intentions to. Oh, I see what you're saying. So this is like protecting you from anything that's coming to you so that you can focus with the amethyst. Oh, Leanne, I love that. Right. Okay. Yeah. So Maribel, exactly. So I think you and Leanne are saying the same thing, right? Um, so I think Smokey is like shield, right? So it's like, okay, you've got your protection up so that you can relax and communicate with the Smokey. Yeah. And then that way it can um, amplify all of its master healing qualities. Okay, so all right, so it's a okay, the bards, yeah, that makes sense. It does make sense. Yeah, yeah. So it's almost like a Wonder Woman shield, you know. Okay, I'm not sure if there's any guys on with us, and if you are, I apologize, but I'm coming from my perspective, which is a woman. So I would say that okay, this is like a Wonder Woman shield. You know, I put up my shield, and then I got my amethyst here, and then I can sometimes I think when we're so that's when you put up like sacred circles, so you are protected within the circle. But if you're just setting intentions with crystals, you may not do the full blown sacred circle. So I've got incense going all around me. Having a crystal that will protect you from negativity, so that you can relax into the qualities of the other crystal. Yeah, that's a really amazing idea. I think I really appreciate Leanne and Priscilla and Maribel giving us some insight into how that would work for all of us, because I really can see that it's, and as you can see, these pieces aren't big, guys. So, I mean, I really don't think that the bigger is always the better or has more power. I really think the individual crystals, no matter how large or small they are, they can still, do, they can perform for us better, or even more, outdo what we would expect of them. So I never discount the size of a crystal, and even I'm going to use the word quality. There are some that are purest in quality, and we all recognize them. We see the pictures on the gem and mineral shows. I mean, they're just like flawless. I personally don't have any flawless crystals in my collection or my possession. I don't know that I will ever hold one. I've seen them in museums, but because of that, I mean, I know that these little guys like this, which are my favorites. I'm sorry, guys. The incense I lit earlier to bless the place. It's just surrounding me right now. Oh, a spiritual awakening. Right. Absolutely. I'm 5'4", so I think I have just as much power as a 6'5" person, right? Yeah. So all right. So Maribel, do you mind sharing your what happened during your spiritual awakening? I would love to hear what happened and how the crystals complemented or supported that experience. If you don't mind sharing that with us. Silhouettes of mountains. I think I'm visual too. I don't hear sounds per se. I definitely don't smell. I don't get any smells. Um, and I can't really say that I'm tactile during my journeys either. But I think it's more sound and sight. So when you were preparing for your spiritual awakening, or before you experienced it, excuse me. Sorry, guys. Oh, the meanings of mountains. Right. I mean, so I truly believe that with my experience of divinations and journeying to the other realms, to the spirit realms, um, spirit doesn't have the same language as we do, and we need to understand that in order to understand that the messages that we're given are they're typically metaphors, or they can be uh, um, analogies, right? So it's not literal. Most often, it's not literal. So you have to really interpret it. You have to see, okay, if they show me a fish, is it really a fish that they're wanting to communicate to me, or is it the symbolism of a fish? And that's where you explore and meditate on and say, okay, yeah, fish to me means joy, because when I was a child, my grandparents would take me fishing, and that was the most happiest times of my childhood. So, I mean, that's how you would, interpret what a fish means. And so when Maribel envisioned mountains, it's her responsibility to say what mountains mean, right? Oh, as a child, gosh, I don't know that I ever even saw a crystal, to be honest with you, until I was probably in my early 20s. Yeah, I mean, we weren't. If I knew it was a crystal, it was never presented to me as a crystal. So my experiences were pretty limited as a child, teenager, and young adult. But when I came in contact with it, then it's like all holds are barred, right? I mean, I'm like all in. How could you not be? I mean, look at this. So this is another crystal that I had from a prior show. This is my amethyst. Reminds me of like a little wolf paw, right? So this guy is just really, really interesting and very powerful. Very powerful. So Maribel, how did you, if I can ask, how did you set the intentions with the spirit? Sorry, with the amethyst and the smoky quartz. So did you go to a quiet place? Did you sit and meditate? Did you just hold it and in a chair or lay down? I mean, what were your feelings? Okay, so Maribel's okay. So right away, Leanne, yeah, good job, hon. That's exactly what we should do is make sure that Maribel has an opportunity to share that. So the mountain is thought to contain divine inspiration and is a focus of pilgrimage, of transcendence, and spiritual elevation. It is a universal symbol of the nearness of God, as it surpasses ordinary humanity and extends towards the sky and the heavens. It symbolizes constancy, permanence, motionless, and its peak spirituality signifies the state of absolute consciousness. In dreams, a mountain signifies danger, but climbing a mountain depicts inner elevation. Wow. Oh my gosh, Maribel. So you were seeing the silhouettes of the mountain. Wow, Maribel. That must have been an amazing experience. Yeah, I have a crystal. It's not a smoky or an amethyst. Okay, you sat in a chair holding one in each hand. Okay, so yeah. So you felt calm. So you just brought down your breathing. I'm assuming, and then just started to enter that lucid dream state. I'm maybe putting words in your mouth. So you're just at some point you had to probably have closed your eyes and then let the vision start rolling over you. Yeah, of course, with your eyes closed. Yeah, that's a good point, Leanne. So, okay, so we all have a dominant and a we have a passive and receptive hand, right? So the passive hand, in many traditions, is your non-dominant hand, right? So that would be my left hand. Hey, Lucinda. Right. So, Maribel. So, did you deliberately choose the smoky for the right and the amethyst for the left? And what are you left-handed or right-handed? And do you think your experience would be different if you switched the crystals? So, Lucinda, Maribel is sharing her experience with um, the pairing of the amethyst. I'm sorry, amethyst and the smoky. Amethyst in the left. You're right-handed. Okay, so the Smoky was in the dominant hand, which is the receptive hand. That's how I've been taught. The receptive hand is in your dominant hand. So you receive, you actively receive. So your dominant hand, and so your receptive hand is your passive hand. So amethyst was passively. So when you passively, I'm just trying to dissect everything, so guys. So sorry. So when you passively sit, you're receptive and you allow, right? You just allow things to happen. So okay, so Leanne's opposite. She's right-handed. She feels her negative comes into her left. Okay, yeah. You know, guys, when it comes down to it, there's no right or wrong way. There's no decree. You have to do it this way or you're out. I think it takes a lot of experiences and experiment to find out what's right for you. There's some things I think that are ingrained in you, like DSL and Wittershins. I mean, that's how I was trained to, like, when you go in a positive, it's clockwise, and negative is counterclockwise, and it's DSL and Wittershins. You know, so that's how I was trained. So in my mind, I was like, okay, I can't turn to the left because I'm bringing in negativity. I have to go to the right. Yeah. So, but definitely whatever feels right to you. I'm just trying to figure out, you know, how it worked for Maribel and possibly the reasons why, you know. Yeah, Priscilla. And that's one thing I wanted to make sure that we all understand while we're here, is that there's no expert on this show. I mean, Priscilla is an expert on her crystal and how she works it. Maribel's the same. Leanne, Angel, Lucinda, all of us. We are all the experts in our own right with our own crystals and our own experiences. None of us can take it away from that. Okay, the amethyst started to feel like it was throbbing in my hand. Okay, so, but you said that negativity comes into the left. So you're saying then that your non-dominant hand is almost like a receptor. Okay, so you're actually pulling in the power into the crystal. And then your right hand was the Smoky. Yeah. My daughter, I mean, my eldest daughter to this day, is really hesitant about coming around crystals because she picked up a black tourmaline, and she's not of the mindset that crystals have energy. I think she's starting to come around, but she's still a little bit skeptical. But she was here one day, and I thought she was going to pass out. She literally went like this. You know, when she picked up the crystal in her hand. I've never seen that happen before, but she was impacted tremendously by the feeling of that tourmaline. Absolutely, Priscilla, and that's one thing I just wanted to keep emphasizing, that got like gnats or something. So yeah, I understand that there's, you know, the amethyst has certain qualities about it, and we can go online and we can read our books, and it'll say the baseline of what an amethyst is. But I absolutely 100% believe that every crystal is different from the other crystal. So every amethyst, like this amethyst and this amethyst, will have totally different personalities. Just like you and I, Priscilla, we're both human females, right? At the basic analogy, or basic part of us, the basic nature of us, we're both female humans, but we have different personalities. Oh, really, Courtney? He's drawn to selenite. Wow. Does he like the? So there's different types of selenite. So we actually carry ice selenite. They have golden selenite. Is there anything in particular he's technically drawn to? Ah, see, Leanne, so you worked through that in your mind, right? So you actually prepared you and the crystals for the best possible experience you could have. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's beautiful. I mean, and I think that's what we're supposed to do. So you're a body of energy. The crystal's a body of energy. You know, it's passive. I mean, the crystal can't jump up and say, "Okay, do this with me." So it's gonna rely on your physical presence to take the initiative, right? So when you do, then the crystal actually is able to provide you with its best possible options or opportunities, right? So it sitting on a shelf on its own, it's not going to, well, it does something, and I'm not going to discount that. It will give off, positive ions. It will clear the house. It will put up a protective barrier. But when you are consciously interacting with that crystal, that's when it just kind of like you turn it on, if I can call it that. It's not like a switch or anything, or maybe it is. Maybe it is an energetic switch. And then because you set that intention, you actually prepared yourself and the crystals for what you, I don't know that you were preparing for what you wanted to happen, but I think you had like a contingency plan. So you felt like, you knew that your right arm was strong, preventing the negative. Your left, you feel like your left is weak, subject to negative. So you wanted to protect that with the Smoky. So you actually had a game plan. Right? Yep. Yeah, I know, Priscilla, absolutely. And I think that us setting intentions with the crystal, um, certainly communicating with it and asking, I don't know, permission. I don't think that that's the right word, but getting an agreement with that crystal, I think that's paramount to the success of the relationship. I don't think you can bully a crystal into doing what you want it to do. I really think that some crystals work better with others, and the same crystal. I can, like I said, this is Wendell's. So, I might be able to get this crystal to help me out a little bit, but if it has more of a I don't know, a loyalty or a connection to Wendell, it'll probably work much better or on a different level with Wendell than it would ever with me. So the same, I think, Priscilla, if you gifted one of your friends with a crystal of yours because you felt like they needed it, I'm sure that crystal would probably have a different reaction or experience. Your friend would have a different experience with your crystal that you never did before. So I think that has a lot to do with um, the different energy of you and the different energy of your crystal or that crystal, and how it either goes like this or it goes like this, right? So there's a difference, right? So they're either butting up against each other or we're actually merging together. I think that that's how crystals and us actually work in so many ways. Did anyone else have an experience with the pairing of the Smoky and the Amethyst that you'd like to share with everyone? I know it's a little bit kind of feel exposed a little bit, but this is a safe place, guys. So whatever you want to offer up. Did I? Okay, yep. So I'm glad you. Okay, so I'm actually glad you gave that opportunity for me. I hate to be the one talking all the time, Leanne. So yes, I have. So the fact for me is that because I have a really strong attraction to Smokey. It's really hard for me to let it take second, second stage and not be the star of the show. So I was really not hesitant, but uncertain as how it would all play out, I guess you could say. So what I experienced was much like what Marianne did. No, sorry, Maribel. So I sat in a quiet place and closing my eyes. I'm not sure why I always have to close my eyes, but it's almost like you shield, you shut down this plane, this area. You put a distance between you and this reality. So it's almost like you now enter your inner realm. So I then held the two crystals in my hand, and I I hold Smoky in my dominant hand and Amethyst in my passive. So I look at it as my receptive hand. So that's how I set it up. And it was just instinctual, no forethought, in mind. It was just how I picked it up in my right, and I picked this one up in my left. So, and always trust your intuition. So you do things not knowing why you do it, right? So just accept that, and then just recognize that it's the way it was intended. And sometimes if you go against that, it kind of feels awkward. Like if I had switched it and put the amethyst in my right and the smoky in my left, even right now, it doesn't, even though, I mean, it could be the size and the shape of the crystal, but I really don't think it's that. I really think it's the energy of the crystal. And it just immediately, just as I switched it just then, it was like, okay, I can get comfortable. And, like this one just fits really well in this hand. And so does the smoky, even though this isn't my smoky, this is Wendell's. He was kind enough to lend it to me for this experience. So, okay, so going back to my experience. So close my eyes, and the first thing I just start to do is just, you just take a few deep breaths, just try and, center yourself, and then just, let yourself settle into the moment. And when I settle into the moment, what I end up doing is thoughts just coming back and forth, like ping pong. I don't know if y'all played ping pong before, but you just start looking at, okay, so what am I supposed to feel? What am I supposed to see? What am I supposed to react to? So I go through those what ifs, right? So that's one of the things that I first did was like, what am I supposed to experience, and what is it supposed to do for me? So as I let those thoughts, just drift by and come forward and drift by and come forward, what I ultimately felt and experienced was that the amethyst was the stronger of the two. When I say the stronger, in energy, not in overall healing capacities. So this amethyst, I mean, it even feels heavier to me right now, and it did during that. I'm going to call it it's not a meditation. I don't even know what to call it. It's like an outer body experience, maybe, and I've had journeys before, so I can't even call it a journey. Well, I guess maybe a journey is better described than a meditation, because I actually journeyed to the energy of the two crystals. Um, so so as I was doing that, I'm sitting there, and I could feel that the amethyst was stronger than the smoky quartz, and the strength of the amethyst came forward in a way that to me, it was really unexpected. So the amethyst it's unassuming, right? So everyone has, well, most everyone has amethyst in their personal collection. Little kids get amethyst. I mean, they get little tumbles. Most of us, I would say 99.9% of us have amethyst in their collection. So what I felt from this amethyst was that it was stronger in its power or in its energy because it was unassuming. It was almost like, okay, it blends in so well. It actually can take over a conversation because you're not threatened by it. It's almost like, okay, I am powerful because everyone accepts me. They recognize me. They 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 engage in my energy because I connect with them. Everyone considers them to be a powerful healing stone. And while I was doing that, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, so you are more powerful than Smokey, which Smokey is my favorite. Um, I was thinking, okay, so what about the Smokey? I mean, where does it fall into this experience? And much like what Maribel and Leanne experienced, I could tell that the Smokey was there as a way to to give Amethyst free reign and allow Amethyst to shine in ways that it may not have been able to if it wasn't for the Smoky. So I think in that, the Smoky was just as powerful as the Amethyst. I don't know if that makes sense, but so my experience with the crystal was just to be able to focus on the crystals and to find out, how these two crystals could work together and work for me. I guess I hate to say it like that. What could they bring to me that I would not be able to experience without them being together? Yeah, right. Absolutely, Priscilla. I think that's exactly it. So it is a supporting crystal. To me, I mean, when we were talking earlier about it being having a shield, right? So it just stands in there. I'm like, okay, you're not getting by me. You can try all you want, but okay, I'm here and I'm protecting whatever's happening. Yeah. But of course, the another crystal that I could pair together might have totally a different experience. So um, I wouldn't pigeonhole, and I use that phrase a lot. I wouldn't say that all amethysts and all smokies will work together the same way. Just like if I work with Priscilla, the outcome would be different if I worked with Maribel, right? So I think our qualities, our personalities are different, and so that how we combine them, even though Maribel, your personality is probably going to be the same as if you worked with me or Priscilla works with Maribel or me. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some times where you actually influence, the outcome, but I don't think you can really do that with crystals. Yeah, I don't think you can. I mean, you can set an intention and you can ask. And once again, I always really try to let people know you really need to. And setting an intention is it's with agreement. You can't dominate, right? Um, I don't think you'll get the same result as if you ask nicely. Okay. Oh, barefoot in the cool grass. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Grounding, guys. We need to do more grounding. I am just, Wendell and I are just running full tilt right now. We've got so many irons in the fire, I guess you can call it, but grounding, Leanne, that is the perfect way to, it's almost like a shock to your system. It's like a reboot, if you will. I mean, it's like, okay, whatever's happening in your head, the connection to Gaia, it just like pulls you back down. It's like grounded. I mean, I don't know if you've ever experienced like a lightning rod. So when I first got married, we were almost out in the country. So we actually had a lightning rod in our near our house. So it was a single story house. So, but it was probably, I don't know, it was actually on blocks. So it was probably 20 feet high. And then the grounding rod was probably 8 feet above that. So it was a long, tall grounding rod. And so just think about that. So grounding us and making sure that we are in the right headspace and becoming rational and calm is just as important as, you know, trying to connect to the crystals. Because if you're not in the right headspace, you'll never be able to interpret exactly what you need to have. Yeah. Priscilla, exactly. So I think Priscilla has actually communicated that extremely well. So, and programming it right, setting an intention, letting it know what you need. You know, hey, I need something to, I don't know, help me to be kinder, right? I mean, so, and I just changed my password today, and it was kindness 11. Ah, yeah, right. So Maribel, that's actually a really good suggestion. So setting intention isn't always what the thing we should do. So sometimes we don't know what we want. And so just holding on to a specific crystal and letting it tell us what it can do or what it can show us, you know, that may be an alternative approach too. So yeah, and I think, okay, so let's just explore this for a minute, guys, and let me find out what you think about this. So sometimes we think we know what we want or what we need, right? Our minds are just going a mile a minute. You know, okay, I need to be kind, I need to be happy, I need to be beautiful, I need to be less anxious, I need to be restful, I need to be more spiritual, I need to be that and this. But maybe as Maribel's suggesting, it's not, it might be better for us just to sit with the energy of a crystal and allow them to show us what we need to see or what we need to be. Yeah, I mean, they've been around millions of years and we're just, I mean, I'm just on my 56th year on this plane. So they have a lot more experience than I do. Oh, yeah. Oh, Priscilla, that's a really good point. So, I mean, if you, uh, so the first year or two when we were doing our crystal live shows, guys, I can tell you, I couldn't even sleep after a show. Just being and it was like a 12 by 12 room with nothing but crystals all the way around, for, well, okay, 2 hours of the show. It usually takes us between 2 and 4 hours to do everything, complete the paperwork of the show. So 6 hours in a room with just crystal energy. It was just overwhelming. Wendell would actually, he would finish up and he would come to me and put on a hematite necklace, and he would just try and weigh me down, ground me, because I was just off the charts. There was no, I mean, I tried sleepy tea, I tried melatonin. I couldn't sleep. So what Priscilla is saying is exactly true. If you're not properly grounded, prepared, you'll be taken. Sorry, guys. You'll be taken on a ride, and you won't be able to come back to Earth. So putting yourself in the right mindset and the right, getting yourself prepared for it is also something you need to contemplate. Yeah, you don't want to just pick up a crystal and not be mentally, physically, or spiritually prepared to work with it. You know, so then it's just like you don't want to do anything if you're not feeling well, or you don't want to work with it if you're in a bad place. You know, there are some crystals that will assist you and comfort you, but if you're trying to, go to an altered state or something like that, I would be really hesitant about working with a crystal in that form. Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. I know. I mean, it's just like, so. Just think about this. So Maribel. So you have this friend, and I'll just say she has 20 crystals. And if she's like me, she has more than that. But we'll just use that number, 20. Hmm? Yeah, some more water, please. That'd be good. Yeah, thank you. Wendell's bring me some more water. Um, so you start. Just think about if you had 20 humans, and all of a sudden you started moving them, right? They're all of a sudden different roommates, different places in the home, different apartments, different somethings. There's going to be a lot of conflicting crystal energy. Some are going to get so excited, like, "Oh, I didn't know you were here. I'm so happy to meet you," and they're going to start chattering, right? And so I can imagine what she went through just rearranging her crystals. So Wendell and I will be moving soon, and I think about packing them up and then just putting them in a box, waiting until I can unbox them into their new home. And I'm thinking, okay, do I need to take a picture of where they're at now and how they're, how the fluorites next to the anhydrite, and should I put them back in the same place? So yeah, so I can imagine how you just you don't realize what, yeah, they're inanimate objects from what a lot of people will say, but they do have energy. And I think they do have the opportunity and the ability to affect us and our home life, right? So yeah. Yeah, Maribel, you come with you, I am so pleased that we were able to do this, guys, because you've really given me insight to crystals like I've not had before, and I think it's important that we're able to talk about them and just share our experiences, because I think we may have always had an experience like that, but being able to vocalize it and actually materialize it in that way, right? It becomes real, right? Because otherwise, we just kind of accept it as being reality. When you like lose a crystal, you're like, okay, where did it go? And then it all of a sudden appears. You're like, where were you for 2 weeks? It's hard to say that out loud to a lot of people. They're going to think you're crazy, right? I don't think we're crazy. I don't feel like we're crazy. If we are, that's okay. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I don't really care. I know that what I do know is that crystals have been a comfort to me. Oh, I wanted to show y'all. I have this 12-pointed star amethyst. This is one of my purchases personally that I took on. I love these 12-pointed stars. But this guy, though, I have to show you. This is my Wounded Warrior Smoky Quartz. I have to show you. I've got to get a close-up of him. He is so wounded. Such an amazing piece of smoky quartz. This is natural smoky quartz, and it actually has like a band of white quartz. It's a band of white quartz running through his underneath. I don't know if you can see that. This is one of my prized pieces. He's just gorgeous. Wounds and all. I'm going to call it wound, not an imperfection. He's definitely not imperfect. So if y'all have, yeah, you do. You do. Yep, where are they? Okay, hold on. Where are they? Okay, it's hard to see. And he's got rainbows. He's just gorgeous. Where are my record keepers? It's hard to tell in this light, too. Yeah, they're over here. Yeah, if y'all have favorite, if you have favorite Smokies or Amethyst, I would love for y'all to post your pictures on this, on our page, just to share, you know, the beauty of our crystals. I would love that. Um, you know, it's just a way of, I don't know, I'm going to call it boasting because I adore that crystal, and it would never. It was maybe it may be part of my will. You know, it's one of those. I'm like, okay, I'm not giving this guy up for anything. Um, he's just gorgeous. He has a prominent place on my altar table. Um, yeah, so when I'm doing my I know he almost glows on the inside, Priscilla. He's just gorgeous. He really is. So if y'all have any crystals that you would like to share and like to boast about, I would love to have y'all post pictures for us on our page. Anything. And yeah, I will. I absolutely will. And it doesn't have to be something that you got from us. And it actually it doesn't matter to me. Um, it's because it's personal to you. I would love that, just to show the connection that you have with that specific crystal. So maybe, yeah, maybe that's something we can just do and think about it, how we can connect with we have the crystal conversations, and then if you can share your personal pictures of that specific crystal that we're talking about, and Maribel, I know you had a great experience with your Smoky and your amethyst. So if you wouldn't mind sharing a picture of those particular crystals, and and then that way we can all have a way of collaborating and just definitely sharing, the experience. Oh, Priscilla. Oh, cleaning. Oh, it's a bane of my existence. How does your house get so dirty when there's just two of us, right? But cleaning is a really important aspect of not just for us, but for spirit. I mean, like the fairy, they don't like dirtiness or chaos, so they won't come and attend to you if your house is chaotic. So it's important for spirit as well as us. So yeah, it's a necessary evil. I love having a clean house. I just some of the what it takes to get there. Right. But yeah, post your pictures. You don't need if it's about crystals, we would love to have it happen all the time. So if you have any that you'd like to share. Oh, yeah, well, and when you don't have the space or the mindset, like I hold on to things, and I'm not extremely sentimental in a lot of ways. Yes, yes, please. It is your homework, Leanne. So thank you. So yeah, so post pictures and then discuss why that crystal is your favorite. Yeah, that was a really amazing idea. And then, guys, before we leave, does anyone have any suggestions for the crystal for next week? So I've got, oh, nice, nice, Maribel. That's amazing. So guys, I mean, when I send out the crystals, Wendell makes fun of me because I talk to the crystals before while I'm wrapping them up, I'm talking to them. I'm talking to you. I'm giving a blessing on the package. Um, every time I thank you for the prosperity that you brought to our family, for the gift and the purchase. And then I ask that the universe bring that gift and that abundance back to you threefold. So I think that's extremely important for me to pay it forward with spiritual currency. So get that energy going. So I forgot where I was going with. Anyhow, okay. So does anyone have any crystals that you think we could talk about next week? And I'd like to see if they were common crystals, because I really don't want this to be, one of those rare crystals that no one has, that we've not been able to, set with. So if you have a crystal that you have one or two pieces of that you recognize that it's a common crystal. That common doesn't mean bad, right? Doesn't mean it's less than. I just want to make sure that the conversations are something that everyone can experience and collaborate on. So I've actually had a few suggestions. I've had selenite, citrine, and chrysocolla, petrified wood. Good suggestion, Priscilla. Petrified wood. Citrines, yeah, that's a really common one. Citrines. I have a few citrines. Oh, and polychrome. Okay, I do have polychrome too. Citrine's always a good one. Okay, so we've got two votes for citrine. Anyone else? Tiger eye. Oh, I like that. Yep, tiger eye. Oh, I love tiger eye. I love. I have some blue tiger eye. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Courtney's saying citrine. Priscilla, citrine, and then let's see, Maribel, citrine. So okay, so do y'all mind if we go ahead and decide on citrine? Anyone an objection to that? Because I've got some amazing citrine. I hope y'all say yes. I'm sure you do too. When I was a couple of years ago, I was struggling with my solar plexus not being in alignment. It was out of balance, and oh my gosh, citrine is what saved me. I don't know. I was so when your when your chakras are out of balance, you do some really weird things. I mean, you're just not your mind's not correct. It's just like you're making some really weird decisions, and like I was totally off track. So citrine is what brought me back. It really unbalanced that chakra. Okay, citrine it is. Okay, perfect. All right, so we will do that. I know, Courtney, and they're so hard to find now. Oh my gosh, yeah. I used to be able to get them in, and so easy, and they were beautiful quality, and they were inexpensive. But now, I'm actually struggling to get any good pieces in that are inexpensive. So yeah, so hold on to what you got, guys, because you may not be coming across anything like them for a while. Okay, so you're struggling with your solar plexus for a lot lately. Yeah, Priscilla. So citrine helped me. Yeah, you might want to think about working with it. Yeah, just even laying that citrine on your solar plexus, and then putting your intention into that area, and then asking the citrine, to activate. Yeah, I really think that we can turn it on, right? We can enlist its help, and then definitely ask for its power, and its supporting energy, as we build our energy too. So you've got your own energy focusing on that area. So yeah, I would offer that up as a suggestion. Oh yeah. Yeah, Priscilla, don't put yourself in a position to where it makes it uncomfortable for you. Oh, you try to wear it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's really funny what you put yourself through, just trying to make a connection, and try to normalize it again. For the root chakra, um, I found that tiger eye has been really good for me, Maribel. Yeah, or anything in the carnelian's good. Anything they say that any red, brown, or black crystal, but mookaite, yeah, it's a good suggestion too. But I actually found that tiger eye worked really good for me. But um, Maribel, I'm sure you've got such a vast collection in your home right now. I would. I know it sounds kind of strange and maybe a little bit kooky, but I would just take a trip through your house and just, say out loud, anybody here can help me with my root chakra. And I know your family's going to think you're crazy. Wendell thinks I'm crazy. Um, but I really think that if you say that out loud, okay, maybe even in your head, okay, you don't have to vocalize it, but you're going to be drawn, your attention is going to be drawn to a crystal, and you're going to, your eyes are going to, you're going to connect like, oh, okay, there you are. And that crystal is going to be the one that's going to volunteer for you. So try that. If you don't have, I've got a gnat in the house, it's driving me crazy. If you don't have, a carnelian, a tiger eye, mookaite, or anything like that. Ah, okay, yep. Right, so Priscilla's using an energy tool to let her know what energy tool to use. That's perfect, right? Absolutely perfect. Had y'all ever used dowsing rods? So, I mean, dowsing rods would work too. Yeah, so, mm, yeah, I will sometimes just hover my hand over I've got a huge basket of crystals over here that are um, pocket bra size, right? That's from this size to this size. Um, I will just run my hand over the crystal, and then if you close your eyes, you just run your hand over it, and when your fingers start, that prickly feeling you'll get, you're like, oh, okay, there you are. Okay, so what are you? And then you pick it up, and you're like, ah, okay. You've never had a dowsing rod? It's actually I bought a pair of copper dowsing rods. You can actually make them. Yeah, so that's I bought copper because they're a conduit, but you can actually make dowsing rods. There's actually dowsing rod groups out there, so it's a whole other area of energy work. Yeah, and I'm not an expert at it by any means, so I wouldn't even profess to be one. But yeah, but they find energy. I mean, they're dowsing for water, which is energy. So yeah, so they do help pinpoint balls of energy. So yeah, they will find crystals. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I've used them in my healings and my house cleansings. Yep. Yeah. Oh, in May. Yeah, exactly, Liam. Just like when you're looking for water. Just like you're looking for water. Well, I just noticed the time, so we're already over our schedule, not by much. So I appreciate you all hanging on with me. I apologize for keeping this late. Um, it's been an amazing hour. I can't tell you how much I've learned from y'all, and I hope that you found everyone else's experience enlightening as well. And I really, oh, yeah. Yeah. So, Leanne, exactly. Oh my gosh. So, you have firsthand experience with a dowsing rod. Oh my gosh. That's cool as bleep. Oh, thank you, Maribel. Absolutely. So, I'll post the event for next week. It's going to be Tuesday, and y'all get your citrines out. But definitely, I would love to have your pictures posted and let me know why it's your favorite crystal, and what your, if you can. I mean, I want to keep your privacy, respect that. If you're comfortable with it, not a problem. No, it's not, you know, it's not a requirement by any means, but I would just love to have that shared if you could, and just let us know, how you feel about the crystal and why it's your favorite, and make your other crystals jealous, you know. So yeah, let them step up, right? So yeah, Leanne, it was so cool having you. I really appreciate it. Priscilla, of course, you're always a blessing. You're always a blessing to have on. So thank y'all guys very much. And I hope that you can make time for it next week. So we'll be back on at, I don't know what the day is. Let me look at the calendar. It's going to be April the 6th, and it'll be 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we'll stay at an hour, and hopefully I'll get my sound right. Oh, hopefully. So hopefully that'll, we won't have any problems. But thank you again for showing up and being patient with all of that. I know it's a nuisance. Very frustrating on our end. Oh, yeah. I agree, Leanne. I agree. I mean, it's just self-care. I mean, spiritual self-care is just as important as physical. And right now, we're struggling to find ample time to sit back and just to be, just to be, and not even think about anything, nothing, just to be, exist. I don't think people as a general rule recognize the importance of that. Just to let your mind wander and nothing interfere with just that existence. So yeah, I appreciate you reminding me of that, Leanne, because it is important. It really is. So, okay, yeah, absolutely, Priscilla. You're always welcome, always, and more than just welcome, um, needed, I guess you could say. So, yeah, you're definitely a big part of what we do. So, I appreciate that. With that, I'll set an alarm clock and do it. I know, we have to make an effort, right? It just isn't going to happen on its own. I hear you. I hear you. I just have to set forth that intention. It just has to be more important than anything I've got going on. You're right, Leanne. You're absolutely right. Thank you for that reminder. Thank you again. So, guys, I appreciate your time, and I really hope that you have a really good week. And we'll see you next Tuesday. Good night, Maribel. Thank you again, and blessings, everyone. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Good night, y'all.